What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, the Ghoul Guy, back at you guys yet again with another video, and today we are going to be showcasing another team for the Great League Remix. I believe we got till the 13th, today is the 11th as of recording, and yeah, let's showcase a brand new team, essentially using Tinkaton. Yes, finally, actually finding a really good team for Tinkaton that we can actually use in the Great League Remix. Super excited to showcase this team for you guys. It also I'm also using Shadow Golurk and as well as Furret, my rank 1 Furret, as you can see from the thumbnail anyway. But before we get into the battles, obviously we're going to showcase the moveset and as well the IVs of everything we have. Let's get started with that right now. Alright, first on the list we have our Golurk. This is our Golurk here with Mud Slap, Shadow Punch, and as well as Dynamic Punch. IV wise, pretty decent in terms of PvP IVs. Now the beauty of Golurk is the fact is it uses Mud Slap, so essentially pretty neutral around the board, unless obviously it's a ground type or a flying type, of course. But it also has the coverage of Shadow Punch, of course, against the the Psychics or as well the Ghost type Pokemon, and it has Dynamic Punch against the normal types, which a lot of other ghost types other than, you know, Dust Noir have in its arsenal. So very cool Pokemon, a very attack heavy Pokemon, and very fragile Pokemon, but a really cool Pokemon to use in the league. And then next we have our Furret. This is our rank 1 Furret, pretty much, yeah, rank 1 IVs, which is really nice. So it's pretty bulky for a Furret, which is really nice as well. We got Sucker Punch, Swift, and as well as Trailblaze. Pretty standard moveset for the Furret here. Really good, of course, against the Astonish users, the ghost types that are going to be in this league, because, of course, normal, it negates all ghost type moves, which is really cool. Sucker Punch, super effective against the ghost types. On top of, you can boost it with the Trailblaze, and it has the neutral Swifts, of course, as long as you're not going against, you know, obviously ghost types. It's not good against ghost types, but if you're going against anything else, Swift is really good, especially since it's a stab move, since it's a normal type Pokemon. But that is our Furret, and then last but not least we have our Tinkaton. Let me say it properly. Let me put some respect on its name, alright? We got the Tinkaton. Put some respect on my Tinkaton, alright? We got Fairy Wind, Bulldoze, and as well as Play Rough. I was using the Steel move, the Steel Charge move on this one, but I believe Bulldoze actually works out a lot better just because you are up against a lot of poison types. Typically, you're going to be up against a lot of poison types when you bring out the Tinkaton, and Bulldoze does a tremendous amount of damage to those poison types. On top of that, any fire type, so essentially just a really good coverage move for all those Pokemon that end up coming in, and it's a pretty cheap move to actually use too, so just really nice to actually have in the arsenal there. But that is why we are using Bulldoze, and as you're going to see in this video, it works out phenomenally for us. This is not a traded IV Tinkaton, so of course this is not the most bulky Tinkaton you can have. You're going to want to trade it with a lower friendship level friend, you know, of course, if you want lower IVs, well, lower attack anyway. But unfortunately this is not one, but this is one of the first ones we built, and we have plenty more Tinkatinks that we actually need to trade right now. I have so many. Oh my god, I need to trade some of these so I can actually get better IVs. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the battles. Let's go. Alright, let's start it off here. Let's go. This is actually a team I've been using for the last couple weeks, actually. I've kind of been pretty busy the last couple of days, so hence why I haven't made a video in a couple of days here. But I am glad to be able to actually showcase this team now. Anyway, let's get into it. I don't know what's taking so long for this, for us to actually get into a match here. But there we go. Alright, we are in a match. Let's get it. Let's go. We got Golurk versus a Poliwrath. Okay, so not the baddest, actually not the baddest matchup here, because of the fact is, you know, of course counter's not going to do any damage to us as we are a ghost type Pokemon. We are going to get to the Shadow Punch before they get to a Scald or even a Icy Wind here, which is going to be very nice. Shadow Punch coming through and going to get the shield, which is nice. Basically, since we're going to be able to essentially farm down the rest of this Poliwrath unless they end up switching out on us, we're just going to shield this move. Of course, it's going to be the Icy Wind, super effective damage onto us, which would not be great. We're going to get to the Shadow Punch here. Let's see if they end up shielding this Shadow Punch, or do they end up taking it and we gain switch here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, they do end up shielding, and at this point we should be able to just farm the rest of the way down. I don't even believe we need to actually use another charge move here. We might as well just save up the energy. Yeah, at this point, yeah, they hit us with another Icy Wind. Ooh, and they switch into a Ampharos. Okay, so this is the reason why they kept in the Poliwrath, because they have a electric type user in the back, and of course these Mud Slaps are going to do a whole bunch of damage. We do get to a charge move, which is very nice, and we just end up switching into our Tinkaton. Might as well just switch into the Tinkaton. Typically it only has Trail Blaze and as well as Brutal Swing, if I'm not mistaken, and that's not going to do any damage to the Tinkaton, which is going to be very nice. And as I said, we have the Bulldoze as coverage, which is going to be also very great, because essentially this is going to do super effective damage, even though it's a very weak move. But as you can see there, boom, we take out the Ampharos, which is nice. Let's see what they end up bringing in, or do they bring back in their Poliwrath. Let's see. Oh, they have a fire type in the back. Okay, another reason why they kept the Poliwrath in there. That makes a lot of sense here. They end up catching on the Poliwrath, which is very unfortunate here. But we are going to be able to take out the Poliwrath, no problem. There we go. When we still have the Golurk in the back. So if anything, even if this Tinkaton goes down, we do have the Golurk. But this Typhlosion does have a lot of energy, so we do have to waste it on to our Furret here. Essentially sacrificing the Furret. We're going to have to sacrifice the Furret, unfortunately, just because, yeah, we're going to have to take out this energy from this Typhlosion. And yeah, there we go. We switch back into our Golurk. We still have, oh, nope, we don't have a shield left. We don't have a shield still, but that's fine. I believe we are going to, yeah, we're not going to take this. Oh, they end up using Thunder Punch. They end up using Thunder Punch, which is very unfortunate for them. If they used Blast Burn, we definitely would have been KO'd here, but Thunder Punch going to be definitely not non-effective, as I am a ground type user, and we hit them with the Shadow Punch, ended up winning that game. Let's go. But yeah, even if they did, we basically have the fur in the back, and we might have been able to actually get to another Swift there. But yeah, they ended up using that Thunder Punch, which unfortunately that did not do well for them, and we ended up winning that game. Let's go. Let's go. That was an amazing match there. Very close match, actually. Very close match. Was not expecting the Typhlosion in the back. Typhlosion actually has a lot of play in the Great League Remix. I might actually have to try it out here. Another great lead here. We got Golurk, Shadow Golurk versus a, what do you call this? Quickquivel. Oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce it. But anyway, they switch into a Blossom, and we basically come in with the Furret here. Arguably, I could have just came in with the Tinkaton. Tinkaton definitely would have been able to take these grass-type moves a lot better, especially the Leaf Blade there. Leaf Blade's still a pretty dangerous move, even on a Tinkaton, even though it's not effective. But we did end up switching into our Furret, which is fine here. We're going to try to get the Blossom down in health, but unfortunately, they end up getting to another charge move. Basically, ended up taking out our Furret here, which is fine. At this point, I could bring in the Tinkaton at this point and just farm the rest of the way down, build up some energy, or bring in the Golett. But I believe the Golett will definitely take a lot of energy, take a lot of damage from the Magical Leaf, which will be very unfortunate. They end up switching into a Jellicent, and at this point, I do have a little bit of energy advantage here, so we are going to be able to throw the Shadow Punch. Now, they most likely are going to shield. Yes, they are going to shield, and they are going to get to the Surf. Surf is going to be able to take us out here. But we are going to use a shield. At this point, I don't know if that was actually a good idea or not. Let's see if we can get to a shadow. If we can get to a shadow punch before they get to a surf again, yes, and we can. There we go. Then we are gonna be able to at least get another shield or take a lot of health off on this Jellicent here, which is gonna be very nice. And looks like we do take their last shield, and we aren't going to shield the last of this. Yeah, definitely not going to be able to pace to the actual shadow punch before they end up basically farming us down, which is going to be very unfortunate. But we basically bring back into Tinkaton, see if we can get to this play rough, to see if we can actually take out this Jellicent. Stumbling on my words here, sorry, apologize for that. We are going to get to the play rough. Let's see if that takes out the Jellicent. Unfortunately, he lives with a smidgen of health, but they bring back in the Quirquivell. Anyway, we do get to a Bulldoze. This is the bonus of actually having Bulldoze, as I said, on to the Tinkaton. Respect my Tinkaton, okay? It is not care if you're poison type or not. We are going to negate the poison moves because we are part steel, which is very amazing there. Bulldoze, as I said, doing super effective damage. Let's see what moves they end up giving it to us. Okay, Aqua Tail coming through, not doing that much damage, which is fine. We could take another Aqua Tail even if they throw it at us here, and might as well just save the shields for whatever they have in the back line here, which is going to be basically the whatever they have left of the Jellicent and whatever else they have. I believe we seen whatever else they have. No, actually, no, we did not see their third Pokemon yet. So hopefully it's something I can handle because we don't have that much health left on the Tinkaton. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, it was the Blossom. And we're going to be able to farm down the Blossom. Let's go. Is Tinkaton literally going to take out the whole team here? It is. Oh my goodness. We get to the Bulldoze and it takes out the last remaining team with a smidgen of health left. This is how powerful Tinkaton is in the Go Battle League. Well, in the Great League remix. Let's go. And we end up winning that match. Tinkaton, man, freaking, that was insane. That was an insane match. But yeah, we ended up winning that match and winning that game. Made some really good plays there, and we still had one more shield. I probably could have shielded up something to make that a little less close for comfort, but anyway, we ended up winning that, so that is fine. We go Golurk versus the Whimsicott. Okay, so this is definitely a match where the Golurk definitely has to switch out here. Tinkaton definitely is the play against the Whimsicott. But they basically end up switching into a Sand Slash, which basically is the counter to the Tinkaton here. But we do have Bulldoze, which is going to be great coverage against this Sand Slash here, since it is part steel type, which is going to be nice. Look at that damage, even though it doesn't do that much damage, but anything super effective to it, on top of the fact of if it's squishy. So like the Sand Slash here, that's super squishy. Bulldoze still does a good amount of damage. Basically, Drill Run comes through. Drill Run doing a good amount of damage to us, of course. Very much super effective, but we are going to be able to take these powder snows. These powder snows, these quick moves are not doing that much damage to us whatsoever, so we're going to be able to get to another Bulldoze and potentially get another shield as we shield up this next Drill Run here. So let's see if they end up taking it, or do they give us their last shield. Let's see what ends up happening here. Yeah, usually with this, also too, I'd usually recommend, I probably should have came in with the Furret, even though the actual, the shadow punches, I forgot what you even call it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, having a brain fart here. We end up switching it back into the Golurk. Golurk looking to just basically do the farm down here. We're gonna try to farm down the rest of the Sand Slash. Let's see if they end up switching back into the Whimsicott, and then now we have the Furret Sucker Punch. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I was stumbling on. I was about to call it Shadow Punch for some reason. Anyway, we should have just came in with the Furret ahead of time, even though Sucker Punch is resistant against the Whimsicott, but we are going to be able to get to the Swift. But now we do have it aligned against the Whimsicott here. Which it definitely would have been better against the Tinkaton, because it definitely would have been able to take those Seed Bombs, no problem. But we do get to another Swift here. Let's see if we end up getting the KO onto the Whimsicott. If we do, we do have full, basically we have the Golurk. Yeah, the Golett. The Golett shouldn't have any troubles farming down the rest of the Sand Slash, and let's see what we end up finding in the back. And it is a freaking it's a dark type. It's Umbreon in the back. I definitely should have farmed down the rest of this Sand Slash here. I was thinking the Sand Slash was going to get to a charge move, That's why I was just afraid that it was going to get to another charge move. If I held off, if I just literally held off a smidget, just a little second, if I held off for a second, I would have used a dynamic punch, definitely would have taken out majority of this Umbreon's health, would have farmed down the rest of the Umbreon, and basically got to a charge move for the Sand Slash. But unfortunately, I was just impatient. It was impatient. I was impatient, and they ended up winning that game. GG's to my opponent. But yeah, that was that was just unfortunate on my part. Going on to the next game, let's go. A lot of bad plays in that last game. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we got Diggersby versus our Golurk here, which is very nice because of course their quick attacks, of course, is not going to do that much damage to us because we are ghost type, which is amazing. We probably are going to have to shield up this. It's probably going to be a Scorching Sands. Oh, I'm going to actually opt to actually take this, which is fine. Scorching Sands coming through. Not going to KO us instantly anyway, so that's fine. We do get to the Dynamic Punch. Let's see if they end up taking it, or do we get shield advantage. Their quick attack doesn't do any damage to us, so that is the reason why we stayed in there. I do not know why I switched out here. I definitely should not have switched out here, but they end up switching into a Grumpig, which is fine with us. We do have the Sucker Punches. Sucker Punches are going to be super effective against this Grumpig, and we're going to amplify it with the Trailblaze here, which is going to be nice. Yeah, look at that. Sucker Punches freaking melting this Grumpig's health down, and we still have 2 shields left, which is going to be nice for us. Another Dynamic Punch coming through. Let's see. All right. We do get to a Swift. Swift should end up KOing this Grumpig here unless they want to end up using a shield. Let's see if they end up using a shield here or not. If they do, yep, if they do, all right, we're just going to farm down the rest of the way. And they end up switching into a Jellicent. Okay, so they're double weak to my yeah, they're double weak to my Furret here, which is nice. Furret coming in clutch here. We're going to get to the Trailblaze. Trailblaze doing a whole bunch of damage to the Jellicent. Oh my god. At this point, yeah, might as well just shield it up. The Furret's double boosted, and we might as well just farm down the rest of this Jellicent here, get to another charge move. Do we even have to use Tinkaton in this? Do we even have to use Tinkaton in this? Last Pokemon is going to be the Grumpig. Okay, alright. So we have no more shields. They're going to get to their Dynamic Punch. Thought it was going to just be an instant KO with the Furret, but that's fine. We're going to bring in the Golurk. The Golett. Might as well just finish it off with the Golett with the Mud Slaps. Mud slapping down the rest of this Grumpig, and we end up winning that game. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, that was like an amazing game. That was an amazing game. Double Ghosts in the back. Well, not double Ghosts. Psychic and Ghost in the back, which Furret basically was able to run rampant, especially with 2 shields. Let's go. But yeah, as you can see, this team is amazing, right? Now, if you do not have a good lead, you want to switch in with the whatever the good opponent. So like right now, right? Of course, this is not going to be good for the Golett. So essentially, you could end up switching into the Furret, but they normally are going to, like most likely, you're going to have a counter for the Furret. So basically, I just ended up switching into the Tinkaton. Tinkaton, decent matchup against the Golett anyway. Now, of course, the Golett. Oh my God, the Dusknoir, decent match against the Dusknoir, but you do have to watch out for the Dynamic Punch. It is going to take super effective damage for the Dynamic Punch. So we do have to shield this just in case this is a Dynamic Punch. Even if it's a Shadow Punch, I believe it still would have definitely would have KO'd us here. Basically going to try to get switch advantage and get a farm down. Look at that. Tinkaton showing why it's so good. Getting the Dusknoir out of there, which is nice. And we still have the Furret in the back just in case they bring in another freaking Ghost type. Let's go. Okay, so pretty much we have the other Ghost type ready to get rocked by this Furret. But before we go, we're gonna throw out a play rough here. Let's see. Oh, I was trying to get a Bulldoze out before we end up switching. But we have the Furret here, basically not gonna take any damage, and they have a Machamp in the back. See, that's what they would have brought out if we would have brought out the Furret against the Dusknoir. Essentially, you do not want to come out, basically, when it comes to switch advantages and everything like that, and making sure that you align properly, you don't want to bring out the counter for their count. Like, basically, if you bring out a counter for their Pokemon, they're most likely going to switch out and bring out a counter to that counter. So you want to bring out something that essentially can at least do neutral damage to whatever they bring out, so that, you know, of course, you will still have your counter to their initial Pokemon back there banked, just in case, for these exact reasons. Right now we are fully aligned with the Furret against the Dusclops. The Dusclops can't do any damage to us other than the Ice Punch, which essentially is not going to do that much to the Furret. This is a bulky boy. The Trailblaze coming through, and yeah, look at the Sucker Punches basically melting down the Dusclops health here, which is going to be nice. And let's see what the move is. It's Ice Punch. Look at that. Barely any damage. Barely any damage to us. I should just disrespect and throw the Swift, but that's fine. We're just going to Sucker Punch the rest of the way down. Another Ice Punch coming through. And I don't know. There was some kind of lag here. Taking a while. There it is. Ice Punch. Oh my god. They didn't even hit the bubbles. And yeah, we end up winning that game. Let's go. But yeah, you definitely want to... you want to play what's most unexpected, right? Because the opponents are always going to be able to know what to counter. Like, of course, like if they have a ghost type in the front, like why would they have something, like why wouldn't they have something to counter normal types? Because of course that's what, you know, ghost types are most weak to, you know? So definitely keep that in mind when you're going into PvP matches. For those people that are newer, obviously, to PvP, most people that aren't new, you know, that, you know, already know how this works. But, you know, for those people who are new, definitely go with the most unexpected. Now, of course, if you're like, if back your back lines are bad or horrible against whatever they have in the front, then you might have to play it out, you know. That's like the most unfortunate part, but that's the point of having like a good balanced team. You want to have a good balanced team. You want to have a Pokemon that has some good bulk to it as well. You don't want to have anything like super fragile. Like I have the Golurk in the front, right? But as you can see, the Furret is pretty bulky and the Tinkaton is pretty bulky as well, and pretty versatile too. So even though I switch into Tinkaton a couple of times, which is like a instant counter to whatever they had in the front that the Golurk couldn't, you know, obviously take out. Even though I did that, like they came in with a poison type and I had the Bulldoze as coverage. So even if you come in with the exact counter, make sure that exact counter at least has coverage. So that's another tip for you guys out there if you guys don't already know, and this is coming from somebody that still has not hit veteran. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm telling you guys. I've been building up. This is actually a very old video. I've been using this team for a while. I built up my elo back up. I'm very close to the veteran rank yet again. It's taken me a while. I'm sorry. I apologize to you guys out there, but it's been a struggle. There's a lot of lag spikes and everything like that too, but it's been very frustrating. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but anyway, that is the team. Let me know what you guys think of the team down below, and yeah, hope you guys are doing good, doing well out there. And if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps the channel grow. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.